It has been 1 year since Breonna Taylor was shot and killed by police in her own home in Louisville. The anniversary of her death comes amid renewed calls for justice. Here's ABC's Zareen Shaw.
Say her name! Breonna Taylor!
This weekend marking the 1-year anniversary of Breonna Taylor's killing by police against the backdrop of the Derek Chauvin trial, one of 4 officers charged in George Floyd's death. Taylor and Floyd's killing together fueled the modern-day racial justice movement in America.
Breonna Taylor's life mattered!
In Louisville, demonstrations plan to remember and honor Taylor.
Raising awareness. They want it to be done in remembrance, and they don't want a celebration because we have not gotten justice.
The 26-year-old black EMT was killed when Louisville police executed a no-knock narcotics warrant at her home when she and her boyfriend Kenneth Walker were already in bed. No drugs were found.
Keep walking back. Walk backward!
Walker says he thought intruders were trying to enter and fired one shot, striking an officer in the leg. The officers fired back, killing Taylor.
Breonna and I did not know who was banging on the door, but the police know what they did.
Kenneth Walker had been under threat of criminal charges, but that case was permanently dismissed by a judge this week. Back in October, ABC spoke with Jonathan Mattingly, one of the police officers involved in the raid.
It's not a race thing, like people want to try to make it to be. This is a point where we were doing our job. We gave too much time. When we go in, I get shot, we return fire.
None of the officers involved were charged in Taylor's death, though one officer was indicted by a grand jury on wanton endangerment charges for shooting into a neighbor's apartment. 2 other officers who fired shots during the raid were dismissed from the force. But some members of the grand jury say Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron never presented them with homicide as a charge to consider against the officers, and have now joined a group of other Kentucky citizens seeking to impeach Cameron for breach of public trust.
Tom, why you got a job to do?
Meanwhile, Breonna Taylor's mother is still demanding justice, calling on the local prosecutor Tom Wine, who had previously recused himself, to bring criminal charges against the officers. Zareen Shaw, ABC News, Los Angeles.